Welcome to this week's episode of SA Wine Weekly. We've got something a little bit different for you tonight. We're live, Facebook. Thanks for tuning in. If it's your first show, we've got a guy on the show who's never made a wine. We thought we'd make it a little bit different and we'd bring somebody on who knows the wine industry really well, knows great wineries to go to, great eateries. So we thought we'd bring him on for his opinion of where to go, what sort of tours you should go on, and also where's the best places to eat. And they're not your usual places you would think of either. He goes to all of them, so he knows his way around the winery and the eateries in McLaren Vale. So a little bit of a background on him. He was a school captain of his college. May not look like it, but he was. And in his year 12 year, he had an accident which... obviously the patch, we thought we'd address it straight away so you weren't wondering if I brought a pirate on, is he was in a surfing accident and lost his eye. Didn't hold him back whatsoever, still ended up finishing year 12 and,
Yes.
and passing.
And passing.
One of the very few, that actually passed. So we're brought him on the show for his expertise. Now he's running a local, and we love to be local here on the SA shows, is local business, different sort of business than what you would imagine. We're talking paddleboarding.
Correct.
Paddleboarding.
Stand-up paddleboarding.
Stand-up paddleboarding. Not so good right this second if you're a learner.
What?
Well, it's cold.
Well, no, actually the water's fine at the moment.
Right.
And we've got wetsuits.
Oh, you got wetsuits?
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's
Right.
out of the way. Electric bikes.
Electric bikes, 10 of them.
10 of them.
10 of them. Bought from a guy who lives in Moana.
Wow, that's a pretty good... You bought the electric bikes from a guy who lives down the street.
He sells them down at the Moana markets. And when I talked to you guys about this when I started the business. It was all about, everything was about local. So whether it be marketing, whether it be the places I go to, whether it be what I buy, whether it be the hat on my head, this was bought from a guy in Hackham. So it's all about supporting local businesses. And I've watched your shows, 3 shows. Everybody talks about how the McLaren Vale area, it's all about a community and it's about supporting locals.
Yeah, and McLaren Vale as well is extending further than just McLaren Vale. It's
Yeah,
all the
yeah.
surrounds as well.
Yeah.
Whether it be Selix, we'll talk about Selix a little bit later, and your favourite place in the world.
Yes, my favourite place in the world.
And then it's all the way down to Port Nalunga as well, which we may be drinking.
We may just be...
Sampling some of Port Nalunga's finest.
We are, indeed.
So you brought on the Cockle-Diver Ale.
Yeah, it's fantastic. I went to the launch of this down at the Footy Club, what was that, about 8 months ago?
About a year
Thereabouts,
ago.
a year ago. Yeah. And this stuff, this is the sort of beer, when people talk about session ales, this is the sort of beer that if I'm having a session, this is what I want to be on. Because there's some beers that I find are too hoppy, and you can have 3, and I can really enjoy them. But this one here, I could have a session on it, and it's an absolute cracker.
And made for the Port Nalunga Footy Club.
Made for the Port Nalunga Footy Club.
So great local brewers.
Yep.
Who, to the punters out there, might actually be sneaking in on the show.
So I hear. Yeah, and a great bunch of fellas.
And they're all from the wine industry.
And the thing I like about South Coast Brewing is that, it's when you get there, it's real. It's not fancy. It's you get in there and you're at a brewery. It's working. The guys are doing it they've done it from the ground up, and they're locals. And so I love middle of the day, late day, love to get down there and have a few brews.
So we've also got to obviously you brought on 3 amazing wines.
I have.
We'll get into those shortly. And you can obviously win these wines. So when we're drinking the wines, you can comment, throw some comments to Luke or myself, preferably Luke, and he'll answer those comments. And whoever's the best comment will win the bottle of wine. Okay? We've got a comment already.
We do.
We've got Junior David. Thanks for tuning in, mate. Session lighter than pale ale.
Yeah, I think so.
Right.
It's,
Do you want the beer expert to answer?
Yeah. You're
Have a look. Who do you think is the beer expert? All right, much lighter. Okay.
Yes, they do. So with the tours that we do, I mean, we're predominantly, I mean, we call ourselves a wine tour, but we do gin and we do beer. And so, yeah, we get to the distilleries and the breweries all the time. And they do paddles down there. So I think you get 4 in the paddles. You get to choose from what they've got. And it's really, I mean, it's in an industrial area. So, I love that. I love being in a place where it's from the ground up, as I said earlier.
Yeah,
and it's
good
vibe.
people, good area,
awesome people.
great beer.
Yep.
Supporting the local footy club, even more important. So, what food? I'm hanging out for what food we're going to have.
The food that we're doing tonight?
Yeah.
Okay.
All from local places, of course.
All from local places. So Gone AWOL was based in Moana on 3rd Avenue.
Yeah.
So I live on 3rd Avenue. I have a accommodation. So the house next to mine I own, and that's part of the accommodation.
So people book in for the tours, and they get to the accommodation next door to where you live.
If they want. I mean, there's all. I mean, if they just want to do a straight out wine tour.
All right, let's go. Tell me the different sort of tours that are available.
Okay. So when I started it, I was working at Cardine College. I was the vet coordinator there, and I was chatting with kids all the time. And I'm saying, and you know, a lot of kids would come to me and they say, you know, they're all about quite often getting a job that was well paid, and that's all well and good. But I'd always get back to what do you love? You know, what are your passions? And the year before last, I was in Sydney. I was on the harbour, and I was watching some guys kayaking. And I mean, I'm a phys ed teacher, outdoor education teacher at heart. And I thought about the conversation I'd have with a lad on the Friday. And I thought, it's time to go back to what I love. So I thought, can I come up with a business where I can do what I love? So stand-up paddleboarding. I love wine. I love beer. And as you know, I lived abroad for 11 years, and I've done Airbnb for about 3 years. So I love being with travellers, hanging out with travellers, talking about travel. So I came up with the idea of so we do wine tours. With everything, we can do accommodation if people want it, but it doesn't have to be accommodation. We do, so one tour, which is called the Coast of Vines. We start from Moana, we take the electric bikes along the coast, down to Southport.
So from Moana along the bike track all the way.
Yes.
Past the trough, Seaford, all the way down to Moana, to Southport.
Down to Southport.
God's country, Southport.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not quite as
We'll
good as
argue
Moana.
about that later, but yeah. So, and then they go for a paddleboard?
Then, so I've got a trailer, so the bikes go onto the trailer.
Yeah.
And then we go for a paddleboard, so I teach them paddleboarding for an hour or two. And then we go to a local eatery. It might be Beck's Bakery, it might be the Deep Blue, it could be anywhere. I talk to them in advance. And one thing that's really important, I think, is that customer service. So I speak to my clients on the phone, and I ask, what do they want? So, and quite often it's just, head over to Beck's Bakery, something like that. We have a shower, and then I take them to the wineries in the afternoon. So we might go, again, it's about where do they want to go. So it's not a fixed itinerary. It's not like, we've got to go to Darrenburg, we've got to go to Mollyduca, we've got to go to, it's what do you want? And if they want to know what I suggest, I'd ask, well, what type of wine do you want? What type of setting do you want?
Fit the tour into what they like.
Yeah, it's all about fitting it into what they like. Yeah, totally.
That has to be pretty unique. Actually moulding the tour to.
Well, I hope so. Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah, and
so obviously there's that tour.
Yep.
Is that the electric bikes right along the track?
Yep. So that's the Coast of Vines tour was the first one. The second tour is what I just call the Best of McLaren Vale, very original. Yeah. So we take the bikes from Moana, we go along the bike track into McLaren Vale, and you've been along that bike track, gorgeous. Absolutely. I mean, it seriously is.
Cameron. Got a question. Do you change tours to suit your clients?
Cameron.
Right. That question must have been
just
out for a little
while. Yes, 100%. I mean, I mean, if clients want to go fishing, if they want to go hiking, I can do a tour like that. But I mean, I have my set tours, and as I say, one of them is the Best of McLaren Vale. We get on the bikes, we go into McLaren Vale. Quite often I like to go to Shingleback. Just as you're going in winter, you can smell the chimney, the smoke from the chimney.
Yeah. Obviously, Shingleback's the first winery on
First winery. Yeah. And you go, I mean, you literally are about 2 metres away from it on the bike track, so why not stop in there? As soon as we start drinking, though, I put the bikes again onto the trailer. Because... Well,
you have to be responsible.
Yes.
Drinking wine and electric bikes.
So my mother tells me.
Drinking wine and electric bikes probably don't go together that well.
Probably not so well.
No.
Not so
there is some responsible people out there that would just be tasting, but majority of them are drinking.
Yes, after a few drinks, people tend to drop the responsible side of it.
Yeah, true.
So, so we do that one, and then, as I say, we just do straight out wine tours. If people just want to go to wineries, I pick them up from somewhere around Adelaide within an hour of Moana, and we go to the wineries.
So you've mentioned the magic word, wine.
Wine.
It is a wine show.
It is a wine show,
Yeah,
so
so-
I'll just finish my beer.
Yeah, well, whilst I'm having a look at what we've got here first. So we've got the Danshi Rise.
Yep, Grenache
Now,
Tempranillo.
a lot of people wouldn't have heard of
No.
this place.
And
Tell us a little bit about it.
okay, so I went on a wine tour back in, I think, about 2009. I won't say who my competitor is, but he is a great man. And he took me to Danshi Rise. It was at the end of the day. And yes, we had quite a few wines, and I had there. I mean, he does a Grenache. Well, I mean, he does a number of wines. It's red though. I mean, it's all about red. And they've got a Grenache, Grenache Mourvedre, a Grenache Tempranillo. They do a Tempranillo Reserve, and then you go on to the Shiraz. And it's. I mean, it is, in my mind, it is the best value for money wine going around. I love it. Absolutely.
That is a huge call.
Yeah, well, Steve, who's just there right now, I was there last Thursday night picking up this wine, and I was going to go in for 10 minutes, and of course 2.5 hours later I'm sitting there drinking with Steve. But I just love sitting there. He is a winemaker who wants to be with his customers, and I mean, what do you think? What's your thoughts? I mean, we'll give her a good swirl there. She's a big glass.
Well,
I appreciate it.
it's not a tasting show.
No.
It's a wine show.
Okay,
We actually are here to drink. So, and you got to have a little bit of it to work out whether you like it or not.
Well,
Now, what should I be smelling?
Well, when it's got, Grenache, let's get to what's in it. Grenache, in McLaren Vale, I think we do Grenache better than anything. You know, back in the 80s,
That is a huge call.
I think we do.
We're well known for our Shiraz, or
And
had been well known for our Shiraz.
And don't get me wrong, the Shiraz is awesome, and I'm a massive Shiraz fan. But about 2 or 3 years ago, I get a lot of guests from France staying at my Airbnb, and they drink a lot more subtle, what I used to think as watered down wines. But I said to myself, I've got to start changing my palate, because in McLaren Vale we have the big, bold wines like our Shirazes, and I thought, no, I want to start going back a little bit and tasting more subtle wines and enjoying red wine in summer. So the Grenache that he does, Steve, he said, chuck it in the fridge for half an hour. Well,
not in the freezer.
I do put it in the freezer for about 10 minutes. I cool it down.
It's not vodka.
No, it's not.
Anyway,
But no, his Grenache is phenomenal. It's absolutely and utterly phenomenal. So you've got the lighter taste, very fruity, and then you've got the temp in there, and the temp has that earthiness, that kind of, it doesn't sound real good, but compost or mushroom. And I love that earthiness, and the mixture of the two is phenomenal. And we're being served by the great man himself.
So, blown me away, this wine.
It's
It
phenomenal.
is amazing.
It's phenomenal. I mean, all his wine's phenomenal.
The smell didn't really do it for me, but as soon as I tasted it,
Well, that's the temp. I bet that's probably the temp. And the temp challenges some people in terms of the smell.
Yeah.
But I was there the other night, and I was saying to Steve, which one should I take on? I was going to take the Grenache Mourvedre. It's a little bit more fruity.
Yeah.
And then we started talking about the food that we were going to pair it with. And so when I started talking about I wanted to do a pizza from Deep Blue.
Well, tell us about Deep Blue.
Okay, Deep Blue.
Obviously, you're a Moana boy, so...
Moana boy, born and bred since the 70s. So the Deep Blue used to be the old deli where we used to go down with brother and sister, who better be watching. My brother probably isn't, he's too lazy. But
Mates of our parents owned it. Shirazes.
Yeah, Shirazes, yeah. They came along. They were in the 80s, I reckon. There it is on the screen now. So we used to buy our mixed lollies down there, play Atari. 40 cents if we were rich, we'd get the bag of mixed lollies. And anyway, so it changed into the Deep Blue Cafe. And the best thing that has happened for the foreshore, I mean, it's phenomenal. And it's been going so well for so long. And their pizzas are unreal. Now, this pizza here is the puttanesca. And I'm going to be honest here, I only had the puttanesca for the first time on Friday night, because I was talking to Steve about what I should be pairing it with.
All right, I'm going to have to get into it.
And I'll just watch you.
No, yeah.
No, well, you know.
We'll go bite for bite.
Okay,
All
bite
right.
for bite.
We've got some napkins in here.
Okay, let you go.
All right.
So yeah, Steve was saying with the Tempranillo, go something a little bit more spicy. So we've got the puttanesca, and you know we've got our anchovies and whatnot on here. And I'm gonna talk while I've got food in my mouth.
Just like you did in the promo.
Yeah.
Nah, please don't.
Okay.
You almost ruined the promo by talking during it.
I'm sorry about that.
Now, the oil in the pizza really brings out the flavour in the wine. I like this idea of food pairing.
Yeah.
Because that's what wine's all about, really, isn't it? To you and I, who aren't winemakers,
Yeah.
who don't really know.
Am I allowed to swear on this show?
Yeah,
Okay.
sure.
I hate wine make. I'm just not into it. And number one, I don't think I have the skills or the subtleties of taste to be able to break down a wine like you know the real connoisseurs do. I can't go mid-palate. I can taste some orange or you know some apple or leather or shoe polish or whatever it is. But I certainly can taste a wine that I like, and I think I actually on the tours like to come inside the buildings, into the cellar doors with my clients because I like to see what they're enjoying, and if they like a particular wine, then I might suggest whilst we're going here, here, and here, how about we maybe go here because I know that you like that particular wine.
And where you're obviously offering to take them, you know they make a good quality wine.
Yeah.
We are so spoiled though, aren't we? You've got such a vast array of wineries in McLaren Vale that are all awesome for a different reason.
I lived abroad for 11 years, and there was never a time, and I lived and went to some great places, but there was never ever a time where I didn't want to come back to Moana, and it was because of McLaren Vale, it was because of our beaches, it was because of and now we've got all the food that goes along with it, because you know McLaren Vale back in the 70s and 80s, not a lot was happening there.
No, not like today.
No, I mean it's unreal. You know, Vassarelli's. You know,
So
everyone who's down.
we've got the timer going.
We do.
We need throw up some comments. You can win this amazing bottle of wine. And don't forget that there'll be a deal for the wines at the end of the show as well. And there may even be a deal for Luke's tours. There might not be a wine deal. We've got to work that out yet. I may have overstepped my mark.
You may have.
But we may have to talk to the three wineries and work it out.
That.
But these wines will be available. There'll be links also after this show's finished, especially for all our international guests. So we've got guests from, well, I guess, clients, audience from everywhere around the world. We've only been running for 3 weeks, but we probably know pretty much all of the people. But have to shout out to Michelle from the US and Dennis York from the US, who has done a winery tour. Been down here, used to work with me a lot in the telco industry. Loves his wine. Big fan of the show. Doesn't like the wine wank. Likes to hear the layman's term. I like this. Great idea. Great
That's
wines.
why Steve at Danshi Rise, he just lives and breathes wine.
They love it though, don't they?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But he doesn't get into the wine wank, and he just cuts to the chase and love it down there.
Yep.
Yep. Love it. Love it.
All right. So we've only got 20 seconds. We're going to announce the winner, and they're a pretty lucky person to win this wine.
I hope I know them.
Ooh.
Because I'll be round at your house.
Yeah, I hope they don't collect it.
Yeah.
That's even better.
That's no good. Don't worry about it.
No, that is a really nice wine, and people on your tour are lucky to go there.
And value for money. I mean, that's $30, that one there, I think. Steve, is it? And it should be going for 60, 70. And his Grenache goes for about $20 a bottle.
Ooh, Adam Hayes.
Adam Hayes.
Anchovies. Did he see me pick them up?
Did you pick them up? I asked Nathan if he wanted anchovies. He said he was going to pick them up. I love them. But that's just me.
Well done, Adam.
Yeah, that's a cracking bottle of wine.
He will really appreciate that
Yeah,
too.
unreal. Oh, that's cool.
Excellent.
And so Foothills of Wollonga, Danshi Rise. Even if you're not on my tours, give Steve a call. Get on his Facebook page. He's not into the marketing side of things, so he doesn't have a big webpage. I think he's getting one built. Give him a call. Go up there. You've got to book it in advance. Phenomenal place. Love it. Great for his wife and
Or
son.
just go on one of your tours and go see him.
Even better go on one of my tours. But it's not all about that. You know, you've got on. Oh, jeez, I've made a mess here. It's
That's
not
all
all about just my tours because you've got to support the local wineries as well.
Wow, this pizza was excellent.
Oh,
gee,
dear.
I said no, I said anchovies first.
Yeah.
Keep watching, Junior. There might be something else
We
coming
can
your
save
way.
you an anchovy if you want, Junior.
Yeah, we could.
I'll just.
Excellent. So
There we go.
we've got yeah, we've got the socials.
Yes. Yep.
Gone AWOL tours.
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
You love the Instagram.
Well,
and you love the selfie. You love the little video, which we enjoy as well.
okay. I need to go back a step here. About 3 months ago, I started the business in December. Probably not the best time to have started a tourism business. Bushfires, then obviously COVID, and when things, obviously, I had all the tours lined up, and obviously everybody cancelled. And I was like, well, what am I going to do in the meantime in terms of promoting the business? But not only promoting the business, it's about McLaren Vale. What do we got? And promoting all the places there. So I got a drone and learned how to slice a video and started promoting them. And I love it. And it's, hopefully it's good for the area.
It is good. And you fitted right into that McLaren Vale. There's no jealousy. We're helping each other out. You're helping the wineries as much as you can. You're bringing clients to them. And that's what the Vale is all about.
Yep.
And I've worked in a lot of different wine areas in Australia doing telco, and McLaren Vale's just got that.
It does.
Coonawarra is a little bit similar,
Okay.
where they all work together as well, but just the McLaren Vale is a community. Yeah. And you're lucky to be working in such a community as well.
Well, it's great. I mean, as you know, went to school together, and all the guys that we went to school with, the
Speaking of going to school with, the muscliest guy at our school.
Am I allowed to say Alpha Beta?
The Alpha Beta.
Here he is.
The party can start.
Hello,
now.
Greg.
Good supporter of the show.
Yes, I've seen him on it. I've been watching every show.
Awesome T-shirt that he supplied for me.
Oh, look at that.
Isn't it?
Lovely. And that's in small?
No, that's in medium.
Okay, medium. Okay.
Medium.
Yeah.
3 mediums so together. Anyway.
Okay.
So, we've got to finish these.
We do, okay.
We don't want to waste any, do we?
Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
We'll finish these.
Sorry, I feel like a priest at the moment. At the end of the night.
No,
okay.
don't go there.
That's...
Pass me the other glasses over. Deb, wine tours and trekking. How much fun would that be?
Yeah, well, I mean, my sister's living up at Blewett Springs at the moment, and just in Blewett Springs alone, in the gorge down there, it's absolutely gorgeous.
It's gorgeous. You know what? Deb could come down. She could run a trek down there, take the South Australian people, take them through the gorge, and she could stay with you, do a tour at the same time. And you could throw the trekking in as part of it.
Yeah.
You said that you would do extra tours.
Yeah, totally, 100%. And it's, I mean, it is. I was teaching down at Old and Lunga Primary School last.
I'm going to interrupt.
Okay,
quickly.
Sorry, go.
You can bring that story up while I'm pouring the wine, but we're on the SC panel.
Yes.
Now, a lot of people know this winery.
Yep.
Carl Cox has played there.
Right. Okay.
Carl, you didn't know that?
No, I didn't.
You did not know that? Carl Cox has played there a couple of times, actually. Amazing day. A lot of people know about the winery from that, but he's won a fair few awards recently as well.
Yep.
Couple of the Bush and King ones.
Yeah, I saw. I was looking the other night at about 3 of them, I think.
A really cracker view from the deck.
I mean, it is. It's outstanding. But there are so, and I don't want to understate how beautiful it is, but there are so many places in McLaren Vale with stunning views. And don't, SC Pannell, their view is absolutely magnificent. It's gorgeous. And that picture that's on there at the moment, on Wednesday nights in summer, they have these theme evenings. It might be, Greece, and they'll have, 25 wines that are associated with Greece. I think it's $25 to get in. You get a meal with it. You get a beer or a wine at the end of it. And we were we were going there every Wednesday during summer, and then of course COVID hit, and Grenache was just coming out. I missed out on Grenache.
Well, I'm sure they're going to open back up again sooner rather than later.
Yes,
hopefully, with how well things are going in South Australia.
Yeah, I was talking to them yesterday, and they're they're still in discussion, so it's not 100% yet, but it's going to be very soon. Very, very soon.
And which is going to be awesome, because
Okay,
the tours will be able to start.
Yeah.
Right, let's talk about this wine.
Montepulciano.
What was it?
Montepulciano.
Right, I'll call it Monty, yeah.
Okay, Monty, the full Monty. Okay, so you had Vassar on the other week,
We did.
and I asked him a question. I said, what...
Petrucci.
What... What's that? Vassar. Sorry, Petrucci.
Nah, I'll give Agostino a shout out while you're at it, though.
Sorry, Michael. And I asked him, what wine would you like to be making? And he said, Montepulciano.
Yeah.
And I was at, I had some guests stay with me, and for about 6 months with the Airbnb. One of them they're both from France. One of them was working up at Darrenberg. And we had a party one evening on the deck down at Port Lunga, and she brought out this S.C Pannell. And I looked at the bottle. I mean, the bottle itself was quite intriguing, and she got it out, and I was like, oh, wait a minute.
What's so good about the bottle?
I just think it's a really cool
Oh,
bottle.
the logo's pretty cool.
I know.
Pink.
I mean, I'm colourblind,
Suits you.
but yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm going to drink some.
All right. So,
But I mean,
drink some.
Well,
Drink
I'm
some.
going to ask you.
I'm going to have some.
Have a smell of it. What do you?
Smells a lot better than the other one.
Okay. I love the other one.
Yeah. No, I love the taste.
I
of it,
mean,
the
this
smell
one,
of it.
this one's it's big, it's bold, it's fruity.
It's dark. The look of it's really dark.
Oh, how cool is the colour? I mean,
The
again, I'm
the
colourblind,
smell.
it could be anything.
It smells quite fruity for a
Yeah, totally.
red wine.
It's a big wine. It's a big middle of the range wine, in medium body.
Yeah. Smooth.
Yeah.
Real. Bit dry.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
As you'd expect from a red.
And
So-
it's got that it's got that feel at the end like a Shiraz. When I was coming on this show, I did a little bit of Googling because I knew I had to pair it with food. And I was thinking...
When you were lucky enough to be
When I
invited
was
to come on
lucky,
the show.
I know,
Right.
very lucky. I'm indebted. Anyway, and I about, I don't know, maybe about 6-7 weeks ago, I was down at Trough Car Park, Tiller Drive,
Yep.
Seaford, and I go to the coffee trough there. Okay, they do coffee. at the
I heard
coffee
they've got
trough.
I haven't been there yet.
It's gold.
Amazing coffee, that little, yeah.
I love it.
Right.
It's my kind of
So
coffee.
you're there getting a coffee.
Yeah, they're getting coffee. I saw over in the car park at the time this little dinky trailer, and they were selling food. And I thought, oh, that's different. That's good.
Support locals.
Support local.
Yeah, of
So I
course.
thought I'll get my coffee. I'll go over, and they were doing egg and bacon rolls. Now
Quite partial to egg and bacon roll
I'm
myself.
not partial to an egg and bacon roll, and I wasn't expecting much because it was a little dinky trailer, and my God, I got this bloody thing, and the roll number one, this really soft, and then I put it in my mouth, and the egg kind of squirted.
Hang on, I'm dribbling.
Yeah, stop that.
Sorry.
Yeah, and my students who I teach, they know I don't give 10s very often. Actually, I never give full marks, but
Right.
that roll.
Except for this
Well,
bacon.
no, I can't. I
Okay.
can't. I want to. I'm going to give it a
Right.
9.98.
Okay.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Okay.
Don't want to break it. So, you thought you...
Anyway, I don't know where I'm going with this. Anyway,
I'm just hoping you're not bringing bacon and egg out with this wine.
I don't know where I go. Anyway, I was thinking about what can I pair with this, and I was thinking, I love that egg and bacon roll. And then I had a mate go down there the other day. He was talking about the actual burgers.
Right.
That mate might have been your brother.
My brother.
Your brother. It might have been. I can't remember. Anyway,
Right.
and he's a harsh critic.
He is the harshest critic. Yeah.
He's
Not on
shocking.
himself.
No, not on
not
himself.
himself.
Not on
Everyone
himself.
else.
Yeah. I mean, that's because he's a beautiful firefighter. You should see him. He's a beautiful man. But anyway, it was all about what can I pair with it, and I was like, and he gave the 10 out of 10 for the burger. So I said, I've got to get Michelle from Cheffy Chelby's. That's the name of the business. And I contacted her, and she was just super excited. And here she is right now.
Hey guys.
Oh, have a look at that.
Look at that.
There we go. Oh, you got me wine as well.
We'll move that, yeah.
That seems like a fair
Are you
trade.
going to have a wine?
Sure.
Yes.
Oh, I thought that was mine.
Oh, no,
sweet.
I mean-
So,
You can, but the whole COVID thing.
Yeah, of course not. No.
Pass me a
Okay.
glass.
Now we're gonna.
No, just give you one of
You
them.
don't want to drink out of my glass.
Oh, fair enough.
No, sorry about that. We're gonna.
I'll have a taste. I'll
You have a taste.
Why not?
You driving?
Yeah,
Yes.
I have a food van.
True.
And the food van is in the car park.
It
at the
is,
moment.
yeah.
And these have been cooked. a
Fresh.
moment ago.
Yeah.
All
And they're
right.
dripping.
So
You take over.
these burgers look absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Tell us about them.
Okay.
Because I've never had your food before.
No. Okay.
Yeah.
So what we've got here tonight is the full Monty, because Luke here contacted me last week. Was it last week? Yes.
Last week, yep.
And asked me to pair a burger with the S.C Pannell Montepulciano. I'm so bad at
Oh, you did pretty well.
Yeah,
I would have just said
Montepulciano.
Monty. Yeah.
Monty, with the Monty. All right. So I was like, yeah, definitely beef burger. We've got to do a beef burger. And I make my own relish, and it's 8-hour slow cooked relish.
Can I butt in there?
Yeah, you may.
The relish. So I
Can you not, buddy?
That's
So I
what
can
you
have some.
order.
The relish is amazing.
I can't even listen. I'm just looking
Okay,
at.
sorry.
I'm just looking at
the,
them.
the
going,
relish is.
drooling. So
Nothing
else.
what's what here?
All right. So they're all the same. They're all full Monties.
Yeah. The buns are just different.
The buns are different. Okay, so my friend Tony Dick decided that he wanted Tony Dick. So he owns Dick Buns. Have you not heard of Tony Dick?
I haven't.
Okay,
I, just,
now you
I,
have.
just, I was just laughing because of
Dick
the name. I
Buns.
thought,
Dick Buns.
Right.
Look at it. Look him up.
I won't.
Please,
look at Dick
guys,
Buns.
look him up.
Okay.
Look him up. He's
well,
amazing.
anybody who's been on tonight's show, what we do for our international guests anyway is we put a copy of it on YouTube.
Okay.
And then we put all the links in so people can find out where you are. So even if you're watching on Facebook Live tonight and you go, I've got to get one of those burgers, your link will be on there.
Oh,
And if they want to look up Dick's Buns, then they can also look him up as well.
he told me the story of how it actually all came about as well. So it's actually a really good story. Anywho's, so what we've got here.
Hang on,
Yes.
give me a burger while
You
you're
wanna
talking.
eat?
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
Quick.
I've got to
All
at least
right,
have
so
some.
what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my jacket off because.
You're getting serious.
wow.
Yeah.
Hello.
So
Yeah.
my motto, I have a few mottos. I talk a lot of crap, if you know me, and
You won't fit,
I love-
you won't fit into this show then.
I've watched this show before.
Yes.
All right. So the
a
best
look at that.
burgers in the world will. How G-rated is this show?
No.
All right.
no,
So the
We're
best
drinking
burgers in
wine.
the world will drip down your arm, and make you drip down your leg.
Oh, hello.
Oh,
So
wow.
I had to take off my jacket so I can drip down my arm at least.
Right.
Okay, I'm
All
rolling.
right.
We'll stop
Yeah.
there, but yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Done.
Okay. So, what,
I'm
Luke,
chicken.
you're being the first guest. What are you having?
Well, I love a tiger bun.
Yeah. So I use tiger
Tiger.
buns on the van all the time.
Yeah.
They're perfect. They toast up beautiful. They're fresh. They're soft, but they're crusty. And these, so we've got a beetroot brioche, and we've got a charcoal brioche. So
I'm going to go beetroot.
beetroot,
Excuse fingers. Go for it.
excuse
Check it
fingers,
out. All right.
and you'd like a tiger bun. I guess that leaves me with the black dick bun.
Wow.
I'm sorry. Hi, I'm a chef.
I'm just going to put the burger in my mouth.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to keep talking while you
Yeah.
guys eat, which is pretty unfair, really. I'm the fattest and hungriest out of the three of us, but no, you two eat. That's fine. I'm going to talk more about this wine, and I'm going to talk about how Michelle's got some skills at making the relish out of the wine. Is that true? Or was Luke just
That is
talking
exact.
about?
No, that is exactly what I did. So, I have to wipe my face. So when he brought it up, I was like, definitely needs to go with the relish.
Make this story like elongated so I can eat some. Yeah.
Okay, yeah, right. I'll dribble one.
Okay.
I need
I'm
to wipe
passing
that.
that
I
over.
don't want to
It's
waste
a
the
mess,
yolk
yeah.
though. These
think-
eggs are from Southern Vales Eggs. A guy named Jace Cowling, and these eggs, they're just the butteriest things in the world. They're the best eggs in South Australia. And
Don't look and talk to me.
sorry.
Camera?
Camera. All right.
Are
Hi,
you drinking
camera.
at the same
I'm
time?
terrible at this.
No,
All
it's one
right.
bite. They're going to have a bite and then
Okay,
some
I'm
wine.
just checking.
I know what I'm
So-
doing, mate. Right?
So, yeah, when Luke asked me to pair the burger, what I did was I thought, okay, we're going to go beef with red wine, of course. I'm not a huge drinker, so I went out and bought a bottle
Neither
of
am
the, I went up to S.C Pannell, beautiful place, really friendly staff, got a bottle, took it home, had a taste, and was like, this is going in my relish. So I basically just adapted the relish that I already make, added their beautiful, beautiful Monty, and there we are.
Wow.
How was that?
Oh, I'm going to have to say,
Can
I
go
can't
right
give it
in
a
now?
10 out of 10
Good man.
because
That's-
I don't
I don't
ever
like
agree
10.
with my brother.
Yeah.
My brother gave you a 10 just before you come on. We were talking about, so I'm going
Yeah.
to have to give it 11.
No.
I'd have to go over the top. Beetroot is my favourite vegetable.
Yes. Yep.
I don't know if Luke told you that before you came
No,
on.
he
but
didn't.
You,
But I wish he had.
that bun is to die for. And if you know me well and you're watching this show, I've had a burger or two in my life as well. And with Jerry's influence, American loves burgers. We have tried, and my kids have a YouTube channel, and we do burger reviews.
Go, go.
Go Goes Go. Pretty blatant plug, but we'll do it again. Go Goes Go on YouTube. Search it up and check out their burger reviews. I know where they're going for their next one. They're going to come down to
Send them down.
Send them
Send
down
'em
for
down
the
to
burger
the-
review.
And
The
now they've
Boombox
got a
Kitchen.
very fancy caravan, the Boombox Kitchen.
We do. So what happened was, okay. So can I give my little backstory? Is that
Well,
what we're doing? Or no,
just
we haven't got
before.
time?
No, you can. We've got plenty of time. Because
Okay.
We've
as long
got
as you like.
55,
Right.
54.
But we've got
Okay,
someone who's
yeah.
going to win this amazing
Ooh,
wine.
They're so
So
lucky because and look, it's matchy.
people have been
matchy.
throwing questions up, and we've been too involved in eating and talking.
Yeah,
so
sorry.
if we can have some of the questions back up again,
Yeah,
or some of
sorry,
the
I'll-
comments,
Got a look at
to
that.
put Jerry on the spot,
Mm.
maybe I'll answer some of them while you guys eat.
No, we'll just eat.
So, all
Yeah,
right,
what is it?
we've got 30 seconds till we announce the winner. Did I get a
Okay.
free burger with it?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Please come down to Cheffy Shelby's. If
Not to put you on the spot or anything
no,
like
of
that.
course,
but-
of course, of course. So come down, and I'll give you the full Monty
Wow.
Hello.
And a burger.
and a burger to go with, and take it home and enjoy it. Enjoy it with this beautiful wine.
How good is the wine?
It's so beautiful. I'm not look. I'm gonna.
And you bought a bottle, obviously, to make the
Oh
relish
yeah,
out
of course. And I've been drinking it. I had to stop myself because I know I had to use it for the relish. And I'm not even a big
Oh,
drinker.
it's really
and
drinkable, Luke,
It's
isn't
so
it?
drinkable.
Isn't it?
It's
Yeah.
when you said it was heavy, I was expecting a heavy. It's not a heavy drinking wine.
No,
it
no.
looks like it. And when you said, "Oh, it's Shiraz," it's nowhere near a heavy Shiraz.
No, it's the finish is like a
Yeah.
Shiraz, yeah. But that's, to me, that's, you know, if you go to a party.
Hang on a sec.
Oh.
Alan Novak,
No, no.
the winner.
No. Oh, no.
Luke should have the. Oh. I'm glad I read the end bit.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm glad you, I wasn't sure. what
Luke
that
should
was
have the
going.
black burger to match the patch. I'm glad he put match the patch in
I'm
there.
glad he did too.
Thanks. Now that's
Thank you.
a Canadian.
A Canadian.
Mr. Novak. Well, he lives locally.
Oh, you know, you know
he's a
him.
Beautiful man.
It actually
beautiful-
sounded
beautiful
way
wife.
better when you said he was Canadian, because it's probably about.
Well, he's got
1
a lot
o'clock
of
in the morning.
Canadian. Well, no, he probably doesn't have Canadian friends. I think they've all let him go.
Oh, what's the
Oh.
cost of the burgers?
Oh, okay. They're $12.
What?
Yeah.
$12.
Yeah.
Can't buy a burger like this for $12.
Yes, you can at Cheffy
Egg
Shelby's.
and
You
bacon
can.
roll,
Egg-
$7.50.
What?
That's with the relish.
That's with relish.
If you just want egg and bacon, they're $4.50.
What?
Yeah. Do you know what? Okay, I'm
Sure,
gonna
okay.
put it. Okay.
Put your prices
This is
up.
why. Yeah, no, that's what I've been told. But
think
this
you
is,
better.
here's the reason. Okay, so
Bring my own relish.
can I
I'm
give my
going
little bring your own relish? Okay. You bring your own
I
relish.
think
then.
I was joking. He was,
Yeah, I know. All right, so the little spiel is, so I'm going to talk at the camera, right? I'm not,
Yeah, I want
okay,
that one right there, yeah.
Okay, cool. So what happened was COVID, lots of people have lost their jobs, you know, or, you know, minimal hours, such as Luke as well. Many of my friends in hospitality, we thought that we were going to be the musicians, like on the Titanic, like the last one, you know, playing the music and like keeping people happy and until it went down. And no, we were the first to go. We're not essential, and yeah, sad.
See this
Do
screen.
you do veggie burgers?
Becky,
Ah,
Becky Little.
hey Becky Little. Yes, I do. I have I have a few options that I'm always happy to adapt, Becky. But my biggest one is a loud vegan, because vegans are loud. Generally, sorry, but you are. It's because it's very colourful.
That's controversial.
It's because it's very colourful. We've got turmeric, roasted cauliflower, beetroot, hummus, and avo mash. It's beautiful. It's loud. That's why. Yeah. So anyway, lost my job. Did unemployment for 2 weeks. That sucked. Got bored. Wanted to cook. Went and bought a camp trailer.
We heard about the dodgy trailer.
Yeah, the dodgy trailer. Hey, I'm keeping that. It's fun. That's nostalgia.
Yeah, history.
History. Anyways, took it out. Worked on it with my daughter over. So my daughter Chardonnay, who's
Come on,
watching.
come
Yeah,
on,
come
come
over
on.
here. Come on.
Come say hi. It's a family show.
Hello.
Chardonnay, wine.
Chardonnay. What a great name.
I didn't even drink Chardonnay before I had it.
Oh,
Now I do
well,
because
I thought maybe you're a Crow supporter. That's
I am a Crow supporter actually.
there's
We
no-
both are.
Oh, hang on.
Hi.
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 Hey.
Hi.
Jerry, you just put that up there because none of us could pronounce his name, didn't you?
Had the pulled pork yesterday. Yeah, but Shane, that was a special. Like that's not happening anymore. Don't lead people on. Oh, okay, I'll do it again.
Nice, Shane.
Hi Shane. He's one of my best customers. Mwah.
Well, no wonder for $4.50 for breakfast and $12.50 for dinner.
Dude, this dude eats hockey puck, eggs, and crispy bacon, and yeah, I see him coming. I'm gonna start cooking it. Anyway, the camp trailer got too cold for me and Missy.
Fair
It's
enough.
So I bought the Boombox Kitchen. It was for sale in Victor Harbour
And where can people find you?
on Tiller Drive at the car park at the end
Trough.
of Tiller Drive.
The
At
Trough.
the trough.
Yeah.
The trough.
Where, and if people don't know what the trough is, they're obviously not surfers, but it's where the steps are, the long steps.
Yep.
Know them really well from
Look
Kokoda
at those
training.
muscles. Have a look. Hello.
So
No.
we're down there cooking how often?
Every day.
Every day?
Yeah, I'm down there every day, weather permitting, from 9 a.m. till 2 p.m. during the week, because that's school hours. And on weekends, I'll be down
Oh,
there
you
from
didn't
about
say you had
8:30.
donuts.
I've got
Oh, yeah,
donuts.
yeah, donuts.
Yeah, because you said, like you said, but
Luke,
that's
how
not
come you're
why.
in, Luke, how come you're in all these videos? You're just sneaking yourself in every video, aren't you? Oh, look at that.
Yeah, that's the relish roll, that one.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah. And now we're doing for this week only, I'm using the S.C Pannell relish on all my burgers that have relish. And if you want relish, it's $1 extra.
So it's really
Yeah.
SA Wine Weekly Special, isn't it?
It is.
It has to
It
be.
is. That's it. So for this week only, SA Wine Weekly Special. Come down, mention it. Let me know that you saw me make a fool of myself on TV.
Ah, you've done really well.
And
Actually, it wouldn't matter how bad you were in camera, your burgers are awesome.
How good? Seriously, I've got. I mean, I'm trying to save myself for the last one, but
All right,
that's.
we're gonna
We're gonna wrap this up.
Wrap it up, yeah.
Yep, all right.
So thanks heaps for coming on.
You're so welcome.
Thanks heaps for cooking
Thank
us
you for
the
having
burgers.
me.
They are amazing.
Thank you for the 11. That's not a thing. Though.
No, it is. It is.
You're
Got to
beautiful.
one up my brother.
I like that. I like it.
That
Sibling
wouldn't be hard.
rivalry.
That wouldn't be hard.
Wouldn't
Love
be
it.
hard, really. There's no competition, but anyway, thanks
All right.
heaps for coming on.
I'll take these
Chardonnay,
away.
thanks for coming on. You made the show look even better than usual.
She's a great server.
She
So-
is. She's got hospital in her blood.
So we've got the one-day tours with accommodation. Luke, tell me a little bit more about those.
1 day tours with accommodations. Yep. So that's where. So as I mentioned earlier, if you did something like the Coast of Irons or the best of McLaren Vale, and you wanted to be accommodated as well, so I'd pick people up the night before,
Oh, yeah.
about 5 o'clock in town, 5:30. Wherever they are anyway, and I then drive them down. I'll take them out for dinner. Basically, I'm with the accommodation tours. I'm on beck and call, so I'm next door. So I'll take them out for dinner. We'll do obviously the tours. So
If they don't want to?
if they don't want to do the tours,
No, if they don't want to go for dinner. They just want to hang back.
oh yeah,
That's pretty cool.
and there's breakfast. I do a breakfast there.
Hang on. Cameron,
What's your holiday deals, Luke?
what's your holiday deals?
Holiday deal? Well, that's coming up, isn't it? Well, my deal's coming up.
Well, yeah. Well,
I mean, in terms of my tours.
he wants to come over in the holidays. He's hitting you up. What's his
Oh
deal?
yeah. Bloody star! I won't be able to get rid of him.
True, true.
Okay, so the tours for a wine tour is $99. If you want to do the bikes and the boards and a wine tour, that's $180. But give me a call. We can work something
Oh,
out.
we got COVID. Coming back from COVID, we've got to
we've got
ramp up.
We've got a special. Luke, best wine after a long day of teaching.
Is Mitch a teacher? I was just thinking
Mitch
by his
Lee.
anonymous,
Best wine.
anonymous
Oh,
profile.
mate, that's a good question. Time of year. I mean, it's so hard. Cold winter night. It's got to be a Shiraz.
I'm going to cut you off for 2 secs. I'm going to pour this while we
Do it.
You keep chatting.
Um,
Or maybe it's the Black Ops.
The Black Ops, I only had this for the first time about 2 weeks ago. I go to,
Hang on,
now,
we haven't showed everyone well enough. Black Ops, where from?
that's from Hugh Hamilton. Okay, so Hugh Hamilton.
One of the well-known wineries in the Vale.
Well, I mean, I think
On
Hugh,
the McMurtry Mile.
on the McMurtry Mile, and what a mile it is. I mean, there's so many places. You could do about 20
Have you got a
days worth of tours.
Have you got a McMurtry Mile tour?
No, not officially. No,
No.
but you can certainly go down
I
there.
think we should hit one
We'll
up.
look into that one, but we'll get back to it. Hugh Hamilton. I mean, the views are.
Oh, Jesus.
They've got this kind of kiosk building, like the old kiosk down at Moana. Smaller version of 270-degree views. You're amongst the vines, and that's what I mean. The wine is outstanding, but you're sitting there amongst the vines. You are amongst the vines, and well, there's one of the staff there, and the staff.
What's her name?
Yeah, I was just going. Sorry.
During rehearsal you had it, but yeah,
Yeah,
it's
sorry
all
about
right.
that.
Keep going anyway.
I'm going to.
She's not Hugh's daughter or anything, is she?
No.
okay.
Well, Hugh's daughter. They're six generations, I believe. So they're the earliest in South Australia. They planted, I believe, in 1837, and so Hugh was the fifth. Daughter Mary is now. Who's Mary? Is now the sixth generation of winemakers. I love it there. Love it there. And this is a bit embarrassing, but I was put onto it by a mate about a couple of years ago, and this is I'd heard about it, and the black sheep, but you go to all these you get used to what you're used to, and I thought I've got to go down there, and I was absolutely blown away. Anyway, getting onto this wine. Are we getting onto this wine?
Yeah, we're going on to this wine, but I don't mind hearing more about the places you go to.
Right.
Because you go to them all.
Yeah.
And you're pretty lucky with the job that you do. You get to go
It's-
to all these amazing places.
It's unreal.
And they are amazing, aren't they? Look,
Yeah.
I've been there, and
Yeah.
it is an awesome
I mean, you
place.
talk about the McMurtry Mile, but you've got the Oliver's Road there. I mean, you've got so.
Geez, you could name a few tours.
You could.
Couldn't you?
I mean, Chalk Hill down there. Yeah, it's
Blue Springs.
Blue
Springs
Springs
wine
Grenache.
place?
Yeah, I saw them last week.
You'd have to drop in and see Phil.
Yeah, I mean, but Blewett Springs, in terms of, they were talking about that sandy soil and Grenache, and it's just the perfect place to be growing Grenache. But
you
anyway,
you love your Grenache, don't you?
well, I was.
Oh, this is strong.
It's big.
It's big.
But okay, so we'll go back to
Let's
the
get
wine.
back to the wine,
Okay,
yeah.
we'll go back to the wine. So I was there doing some filming a couple of weeks ago because it's one of my favourite places. Wanted to do something for YouTube, and when I got in there, because at the moment they are open, they're not doing tastings, but you can go and buy your wine. And at the end of it, I was very interested in this one. As soon as I hadn't seen the bottle before, and I was just interested, and it's called Saperavi Shiraz, or Shiraz Saperavi. And I just hadn't heard of this grape. It's a bit embarrassing as someone who does wine tours. But Saperavi...
Well, you can't know everything.
No.
You can't.
My mother says I do.
Well, she's
Well,
number one,
she thinks,
she's number one fan.
she thinks that I think I do. Anyway, that's another story. We had an argument about that the other night. But the Saperavi is the first... So grapes date back... Well, grape growing, wine...
I thought you didn't know anything about the wine industry. Anyway.
Goes back about 8,000 years in terms of what they can test
Hang
about.
on. 8,000 years.
8,000 years. And Saperavi in Georgia is where they find the oldest grapes. And I love... Now, I don't know Hugh.
That is some useless but interesting facts.
Thank you.
I am going to bring that up. I'm storing
8,000 years
and
ago.
I will bring
And
it. Georgia?
Georgia.
Right.
And they found these old flasks, old clay flasks that they used to make wine in. And Saperavi is the one, and they could bury these for 50 years. This Saperavi could be buried. They used to bury it for 50 years and let it age. I mean, I don't know if they meant to bury it for 50 years. I mean, you'd be dead at that time. Anyway, they
Back
did.
then you would have been.
Yeah. Anyway, they did. And so Hugh, who I don't profess to know the guy, but he kind of fell in love with the romanticism of that. How cool getting a variety from those original places, bring it over here. So they've got a plot, and you can see it from where you do the tastings. And he's mixed it with Shiraz, and I brought it home.
It's different.
It is. It is.
It's got a very different taste.
Yeah, it is.
It's a similar look
To Shiraz.
to Shiraz, yeah. But it's got a really different taste, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's like, finding, when someone introduces you to a new musician,
Yeah.
and you find out that they've got, they've got 10 CDs or CDs, records, whatever. We're dating.
Playlist on Spotify.
Yes, playlist on Spotify. And I was just when I tasted this, I was like, so what's around now? What's going on with Saperavi? And they do a Saperavi on its own. Who else is doing? So I just can't wait to explore that.
And you're just learning all the time, eh?
Yeah.
Well, you're spending all your
I am.
well, once COVID's finished, you're spending all your days in the winery. But what was the challenge for the food to go with this?
Well, it
It's
had
a pretty strong wine.
yeah. So it had to be something beef.
Yeah.
Not beef. Big. Jeez.
Big.
Okay.
Beefy?
No, because it's lamb.
No, but beefy.
Yeah,
It's in big and
big.
strong.
Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to recover you.
Thank you.
Stop
Appreciate that.
treading water, but
That's
yeah.
good that you're here.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was thinking local again, and I was thinking places that I love locally.
Yeah.
I nearly said locally.
It's legally. I know where
Anyway,
you're going.
Duke's Cafe, Moana Surf Club, the greatest surf club in the world,
Besides Southport?
the greatest surf club in the world, and then there's Southport and Port
Well,
Wellington, places.
we'll compromise and
later.
say the mid-coast.
Okay.
The four corner carnivals we used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Anyway, tell me about who owns it.
Carly Hall,
Carly, what a beautiful girl.
lovely girl,
What a great
mid-coaster,
mid-coaster.
mid-coaster,
Great cook.
fabulous cook.
Fabulous cook.
And I've been
knows how to run a.
Well, I've been really
restaurant.
lucky because I mentioned to her about a week ago when you asked me to come on. I said I'm looking because I love their food down there. I love the setting down there, and I was like, anyway, what could you match with the Saperavi, with the Shiraz Saperavi? And she suggested moussaka, I believe, and it was like, yeah, bang, that's the
No,
one.
you're dishing up.
I'm dishing up. Okay.
I thought Jerry's going to bring us a spatula.
Yeah, I thought there was a special.
Hey, how about this? Ready? 1, 2, 3.
And
Ah, look at that.
okay.
Don't know what it
Have a
smells
look
like.
at that. Now I'm gonna give you the little crispy burnt side.
Yeah, no, I'm just having a little sample while we're talking.
Yeah,
Anyway.
little sample. There you go. How does that look?
So, moussaka? What? Greek?
Greek
To me, moussaka, would I be right saying?
moussaka.
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 Moussa.
Moussa Adams.
Moussa. Cecine.
Sesson Saba.
Yeah.
Legends.
Anyway, so we got a. It reminds me of a kind of a lasagna, but we've got eggplant and we've got lamb.
Could you pass me a fork, please?
Oh, no, too interested in eating.
Okay.
Don't worry about you. You can use this.
Swear to God, how?
How good is this? You know what? You've brought in some exceptional wines, and you've done extremely well at bringing in some pretty. Got to be hard to top
Yeah, you
food
eat
wise.
till
No,
I-
you go first.
Okay.
And I'm going to talk about this wine,
Okay.
because I would say
Oh,
you don't even really need to have
Shit,
food
that's
with
hard.
this. It is
It's a
an
cracker.
amazing wine. Oh, the only thing I was thinking was they could have called it black sheep.
what?
Would have suited me more. Being the
But
black
he
sheep.
is Hugh Hamilton is the black sheep of the family. So that's his whole thing. I mean, so as I say, they were 6 generations, and Hugh's kind of gone off on his own. And I love the fact that he loves really experimenting with wine, seeing what you can do with it. And this is just perfect. I mean, as I say, it's like finding a new CD and just going, wow. You know?
That's a great pairing.
And that was a week and a half ago, whatever, that I first tasted this. No, straight away I was like, bang. Okay.
Andrew, something. I need to put that in a pie. A moussaka pie. CJ's Bakery.
The
Well,
moussaka and a pie or the Saperavi? I'm thinking the Saperavi.
Oh, I thought he was going
Shiraz.
to do a moussaka pie.
Well,
Andrew, we'll need a second comment.
yeah, follow up with that
Is
one.
it the wine or the... You know what? It's probably the wine. Because he's thinking I'll put a little bit in there and I'll drink the rest.
But, I mean, it's phenomenal.
It is a great wine.
I mean, these 3 wines are...
You know, for somebody who doesn't know a great deal about wine, as you profess to coming on,
I like wine.
you like wine, you like drinking,
Well,
and you love the McLaren Vale area.
it's
You've
the
done
best place in the world.
exceptionally well with your wines and your pairings. I'm just going to have a little bit more.
And the
so you
beers.
can talk.
And Did we get around to the gin and everything else? Have we talked
We
about
haven't.
it earlier?
We haven't.
So,
Tell me about it.
Well,
So,
there's
pretty lucky in the Vale, really. In that little area, you
Yeah.
got breweries.
yep,
Swell, obviously, has just opened up
Swell.
a while ago.
yep,
Great guy.
Dan,
Wa-
yep,
Wine industry background.
yep,
Loves his beer.
yep, and does so.
Doing an amazing job. We've got a great chef in there too.
Yep. Oh yeah.
We might have to take the show there one night.
Well, that and yeah, it was. Oh, why not? Well,
Why not?
What?
Oh,
I don't- yeah, no. yeah. I think
I reckon
yeah.
that might win you an award, that pie.
Yeah.
I reckon you can talk to Carly and to Hugh and get something organised. Wouldn't that be the best pie?
Oh, how was that?
Right, so
Okay.
to win this, actually, I was going to just say to Jerry, don't put this screen up because I was thinking I might keep this one for myself. But great wine. Keep your comments coming because you got the chance to win this wine. No,
But
no comments.
No,
so
no
we'll go
comments.
halves.
We'll just go halves.
Fair enough. It is an amazing wine. I
it's
just every guest that's come on and brought wines, I actually haven't had one I don't like,
Yeah.
and I'm not a wine expert.
No. And,
I love drinking wine. I love this.
yep.
And wine isn't all about what's the most expensive wine or anything like that. A lot of the time, it's who you're sharing it with.
It
And
is. And
Old mates sitting down.
yeah, you know, you can go to
An amazing feed. Carly outdone herself.
this is.
I keep thinking about that pie. I can't help it. So
That's
more
not
comments.
mine.
We need more comments. Come on, some comments to win this bottle of wine. We haven't talked this wine up enough. Well, I don't
Well-
think we can.
Well, I brought on. I brought on great wine. These are wines that I get really excited about.
Yeah, yeah.
And I'd rather than not be a comment because I'll take it because I swear to
you
God, I do. I love it. Absolutely love it. And how's it work?
Ah,
What's in? There's some spices in
yeah,
here.
there's something in there.
What is
there?
it? Is it cinnamon?
I don't know.
It's but it,
We need Carly to
it-
comment. She should be watching. really.
Carly, are you out there? Carly,
What's in the
comment.
moussaka?
It's phenomenal.
Oh, it is. Great
And,
work.
and
on
can
your
I say,
food
whoever
plans.
heated it up,
Perfect.
has done a great job. I
Yeah, it
think I
has,
burnt
hasn't
the
it?
top of my mouth, which I've got.
All right, so we should have a winner. Jerry's going to have to dig deep because there wasn't really enough comments, or he hasn't shown us many.
Luke Harris. Oh, Mark.
Mark Dittmar. Luke, the black sheep of ancient Georgian history.
Oh, have a look at his T-shirt there. Say g'day, Mid Coast. What a legend. What a beautiful family.
Yeah, he is.
But I was getting on to the gin.
Right, yeah, we
We're
were.
about to talk about gin. So you got Settlers. Have you been up to Settlers?
To be honest, I'm not a gin fan.
You know what? I'm not a massive gin fan. Well, I'm not a. Yeah, I keep saying I'm not, and then I go and taste.
Have I been to the tastings? Have I tried? Probably not.
They're great. Absolutely. And again, the views are phenomenal. Absolutely phenomenal.
Right.
And I love going there at the end of the day. And then, of course, Never Never came along. And Never Never is Chalk Hill, and they've got Chalk Hill Winery, Never Never, under this amazing building. Legs.
It's a pretty special-
Legs, you know who you are if you're watching this. Legs.
It's a pretty
big
special
building.
place, Chalk Hill, isn't it?
It's jaw dropping. I mean,
And
it is
what-
seriously.
Is that where
jaw-dropping.
Pizza Tech went to
They are. Well, they were just about to move in
before COVID?
when COVID hit, and I'm sure they still are.
Yeah.
But could you imagine? You've got Chalk Hill Winery doing amazing wine. You've got Never Never, and their gin is. I mean, they won the best gin. What type of gin was it? Don't know. Dry.
You can make it up. No one's
I
gonna
just-
say-
I
no one's
just
gonna-
throw something out. But they won the best gin in the world for one of their varieties at the London
Hang
Gin
on,
Awards.
hang on.
London
Best-
World Gin Awards.
Best gin in the world. In McLaren
Taste it.
Vale.
No. Oh, yes, from McLaren Vale. Yeah, but best gin in
Wow.
the world. Okay. And the setting it's amazing. It's
So that's
absolutely
part of the
amazing.
tour? Can
Yeah,
be?
yeah, totally.
Can be
And
part of
I love finishing there
Yeah, fair enough.
because finish off end of the day, the views to die for. You sit back, you cleanse the palate, you know, because you don't want to just do. You don't just want to do wine, you know, wine, beer, you know, even some mead from Maxwell's. You know, Maxwell's, the mead
Now you're talking.
in winter.
Winter, yeah.
Yeah, go surfing, have a mead,
Yeah.
a hot mead. But
That's
they do a
that's the old
sparkling
days.
mead. Anyway, we could keep on going, but
We will.
we will. Oh,
We will.
Okay.
Why not?
Well, I've got a few.
We've still got plenty of moussaka and plenty of wine, but
Yeah.
I've got a chat about next week still
Okay.
because I've got the most amazing.
I know, you
Not
are.
that you're not an amazing guest, and you've done really well.
Thank you.
Really well. You've
Thank
upped the ante, but I've got to tease your deal. So what is your deal? What are you? Oh no, I just regurgitated
What-
that.
what- no, I thought you said you want to tease me.
What's the deal for people watching?
The deal for people watching is if you book a tour with me, so a wine tour with me, for 6 or more people, $100 off.
Right. So being the layman and not knowing the prices, well,
Okay, so as I said,
so is that 2
set-
people free out of the 6, or is it how much is the tour?
So one person on a tour is $99. So it's
Right.
basically one person free.
Right. So if I organise 5 people, I'll get mine for free.
Well, you wouldn't be allowed on.
Right. True. Weight restrictions. Weight restrictions on the bikes. That was a bit harsh.
So
Last
the
time you were
the
coming
bike, the tours with the bikes are 180. But again,
Right.
you know, if they've watched this show, and they're locals, it doesn't matter if you're locals, if you're from America, if you're from China, if you're from Afghanistan, give me a call and we. You
How
know,
small can it be and how big? Right.
how small? Oh, okay. The tours.
Right. Okay. Glad you clarified that. Anyway.
Okay, so tours can be as well. This is clanging together. I love doing tours of about 8 because I like to be personal. I like to be able to chat with people. I like to, you know, tailor it to them. But I can do. I mean, my van has 13. You know, you can put 13 people in it.
How many bikes have you got?
Well, in terms of bikes and things like that, I keep it down to 8 because if I'm got bikes and paddle boards and whatnot, you know, safety, maximum of 8 for those tours. But if it's a wine tour, we can do 12 people. Yeah.
A brewery tour?
Well,
Down to South Coast? 12 guys from the footy club? What a great night that was. Anyway, so Luke's discount, $100 off if 6 or more people book. So work it out. Organise 5 of your mates, get them to pay, you get to go for free.
Yeah, but I mean, I can do tours for 2 people as well.
Of course you can.
Well, what I do, if it's 2 people, I do charge $150 a head.
Yep.
You know, I've got to pay the bills. But again, give me a call. Tell me what you want. I mean, I just love.
And what's the best way for people to contact you?
So they can go to Gone AWOL Tours.
Obviously, the socials, they can message you.
Yeah, totally. Give me a call on. Can I give my phone number
Yeah,
out?
go for it. Plug it away.
0416 320 776. Send me a message. Give me a call. You know, about 3 in the morning is always good. No, it's. I love it. I'll do whatever.
Give you a ring and organise something.
Yeah, or send me a message. Give me a ring. Contact me via the website. Yep.
All right, so we've got to talk up next week's show. Not that we haven't had an amazing show tonight, and thanks heaps for coming on, but next week we've got an extra special guest. We've got Jill Gordon-Smith from The Fall of Grace. Now, this lady knows that much about wine. I'm not sure how we're going to compact it into an hour. She's got her own little bottle shop down in Aldinga.
Yeah.
And she has got, I don't want to give too much away, but she is, I reckon, the premier person in Australia to talk Italian wines.
Yeah. So I hear. Yeah. How
So,
cool is that?
I think if you love your Italian wines, you love something different, tune in next week, same time, 8 o'clock on the Achieve Video Marketing Facebook Live, SA Wine Weekly. Next week's guest, Jill Gordon-Smith. Don't miss it. An education lesson on Italian wines. Varieties you never heard of.
That's cool.
Amazing, amazing wines. Thanks heaps for tuning in. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks, mate. Enjoyed it.
It's been awesome. An hour went like that. And we've got to say thanks. Well, let's rattle off all the... First of all, Dukes, Moussaka, Carly, awesome effort.
And that, I mean, that.
All right, next.
I'll pick it out. And we went to the
Michelle
Cheffy
with the
Chelby's.
burgers. And if you really want to get on the show, bring in a burger.
Bring in a burger.
Or bring in a burger of Michelle's quality. We'll
Yes.
get you on the show.
All right,
Good
moussaka.
luck. Good luck. Moussaka.
And Deep Blue Cafe.
Deep Blue Cafe, amazing
And
pizza.
everything I picked tonight was because I love it.
And it's local.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah, you love
That's
it.
the most important.
And
I'd
fitted
never bring
with
on anything that
the
I didn't
wines you
love.
love, the foods you
Yep.
love. That's the power of the show. Is it's what you love in
Yep.
in wine and what you love to match it in food. And I'm getting to taste the majority of it for the first time.
Yeah. How good is
Pretty
it?
good gig.
Not bad.
Anyway, thanks for tuning in. 8 o'clock next week, Wednesday nights, every Wednesday night, 8 o'clock on the Achieve Video Marketing site, SA Wine Weekly.